Hey YouTube, it's Faye, and this is Grim Repo. And for today's video, I'm just going to be starting out my mini-series all about the who, what, when, where, why, and how of buying a used car from a junkyard, like as a daily driver, as like a driving vehicle, not as a parts car. Yeah, so just to knock a few things off the list real fast, obviously the who and the where are pretty straightforward. Obviously, I'm the who, so this is going to be from my perspective and my experience. And the where is the pull apart in Corpus Christi, Texas. Before I get too deep into this video, I just want to say a huge thank you to Pull Apart for helping me make this video possible. Thank you for tolerating me out in the yard for several days. And thank you, of course, so much for holding the truck for me. Otherwise, I'm sure someone else would have snatched it up before I had a chance to buy it. And actually, sort of reflecting on this experience, I realized that there's another W I can knock off the list, and that is the when and, oh, the chicken. And the when is actually pretty important too. I got this truck a month ago, so I've been driving the truck for 30 days, and I have about an oil change almost worth of miles that I've put on the truck. Now, this is kind of a huge deal because if you haven't heard me mention this before in the past, for those of you who know me, you know that I'm a lemon magnet, and I tend to buy total junk because I fall in love with things because of how they look or their existential meaning or how cute they are or like the energy that the car gives off when I get close to it or whatever other, you know, stupid hippy-dippy reason why I just buy some total piece of crap. The spiritual meaning they have to me, and then I have to do like a ton of freaking work to them, and in the case of my Volkswagen, 3 engines, 2 transmissions later. Yeah, so the fact that I've owned this truck for over 30 days, I've put over 3,000 miles on it, and I like haven't had any issues with it at all. Like I feel like I can finally speak from a position of authority, which is kind of funny knowing that here in San Antonio I actually teach a class called How to Buy and Sell a Car and Not Get Screwed. That doesn't mean that I'm good at taking my own advice, y'all, okay? So stop calling me out. Yeah, so anyways, which one of the W's should I cover next? Which one? How about the why? Because that'll set like a good baseline for the rest of my videos. Here, Willow, you go play. So the why. I actually get this question a lot. Why did you buy a car from a junkyard? Or as the internet trolls say, oh, you got a car from a junkyard? Why? Okay, so the first reason I think is pretty obvious, but you'll keep on asking me anyway, so we'll just go out and say it, and that is the Toyota tax is a real thing. It's a real thing, people, and I can't afford it. I'm a small business owner, and I'm a mechanic, so like I'm doing okay, but I'm not like rolling in the dough, you know? I'm struggling just as much as the rest of y'all. I don't know, maybe there are some like rich people like watching me on this video, and if there are, click the link in the description below to sponsor my timing belt video. Ah, just kidding. But that's actually a good idea. Anyway, the Toyota tax is real, and the second reason is time. I didn't have enough of either, you know, and that's honestly pretty much it. I've been looking for a 4Runner since I started my business in February. It's been almost a year. And it's like I look on Craigslist, I look in the local newspaper, I look in used car dealerships, and I can't find any that are reasonably priced or like even close to my budget. And my budget isn't like tiny, but these trucks, like people love them. They hold their value, you know? They've got like 500,000 miles on them. They're 15, 20 years old and people still like are asking a small fortune for them. I just got to the point where I'm like, I'm not going to take out a loan. That's crazy. And I'm not going to buy, well, I would never buy something new anyway. I don't like new vehicles. I specifically wanted this truck, this truck. So I realized that if I was ever going to get one, first of all, I had to sort of make some compromises. Obviously, I wanted one with like low miles, like 150,000 miles or less. That's never going to happen. I wanted a 5-speed. Once again, that's not going to happen. It's, you know, at least in my budget. I wanted a 4-wheel drive, and I wanted one that was like up to date on all of its services, just had its timing belt done, like all this stuff. I'm like, all right, you know, Faye, that is very, very, very unrealistic, and time is of the essence. I was starting to do damage to my little Volkswagen just by using her as my work truck. I was smashing parts around in there, like doing damage to the interior. I was spilling gross fluids in there, and I'm like, yeah, I just can't deal with this anymore. So I was like, the next one that I find for sale, I'm just gonna buy it, and I'm gonna make certain compromises. I'm also taking a look at the interior. It's not beautiful. Maybe I'll find one that is not very well cared for and someone's just looking to get rid of because they're in a tough spot. And actually, that's where Grim Repo got his name. He was a repossessed vehicle. And that's actually, okay, so this was a preconceived notion that I had that was totally false. So the reason why it took me so long to look at a salvage yard in the first place was because it's like you go down the highway, you see those billboards on the side of the road like, we buy junk cars. I thought that everyone else's junk is what ended up on the lot for sale in the used car department. And that's not true at all. Actually, those cars will sometimes end up in the yard, but most of the cars that are on the for sale lot are actually, they come from auction. So the same place that used car dealerships get their cars from. So I was like picking from the same pool as going to a used car dealership, or, I mean, obviously buying private sale, you're gonna pay a lot more. So I was just like, all right, this is a compromise I can make. If it has no service history and I know I'm gonna have to start from square one, I mean, that was where I started out at Toyota, doing all the basic maintenance. I'm like, all right, this is my backyard, basically. I'm familiar with this. And as you saw in my video, all those cars are like $2,000 or less, and they're all decent running, driving cars. I mean, obviously the vehicle didn't start, there was like a bad battery, but they actually gave me that battery. Like they want you to be able to at least get off the lot with it, you know? So those were the main reasons why. Thank y'all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you did, then stay tuned for my next couple of videos in this series where I cover the how I chose Grim, the tools that I packed with me so that I can do some tests, what test I did, how I knew that Grim was a good choice. Hopefully this will help you if you decide that you want to buy a low budget vehicle from a salvage yard. And then also, of course, the what. Well, I mean, I guess the what is a 3rd generation Toyota 4Runner. So I haven't really thought that one out yet. But I guess the what is the work truck. Maybe how I have him set up as a work vehicle. I know y'all ask me all the time for a toolbox tour. And I mean, yeah, I have a few toolboxes, but I'm mobile. So my toolbox is really my vehicle at any given time. And it's usually a mess, but that's all right. I'm happy to share that with you and be real. So I also think it would be helpful to walk you guys through the vehicle that I really wanted, like my ideal third generation Toyota 4Runner, and then the truck that I ended up with, and like the compromises that I made, what things made sense and what things did not. And that might be helpful too for you guys if you're deciding to go this route and buying a new used vehicle. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video next week. All right.